The Mirage of Fate, The Love of Darby and Kelechi Daniels from Nigeria. I am Kelechi Daniels, I'm a Nigerian, and this is the story of my love journey to the United States of America, The Mirage of Fate. Darby Washington had long stopped believing love could find her again. At least not the kind that made the heart beat like a drum in a rainstorm. At 60, living in a quiet home in Atlanta, Georgia, with her aging mother Catherine and two brothers, Johnson the eldest and Tom, the baby of the family, Darby's life was filled with routine, not romance. Until one curious evening, a Facebook friend request popped up on her phone. The name read, Kelechi Daniel. She clicked on the profile. A young man, dark-skinned, kind eyes with posts about motivation, love, and faith. Something about him felt genuine. Curious, she accepted the request, not knowing her heart was about to be unlocked for the second time in her life. Kelechi Daniel, a 32-year-old Nigerian entrepreneur from Enugu State, was building a small digital empowerment platform for African youths. Social media was part of his work, but never had he imagined it would also be the gateway to love. When Darby liked one of his videos titled Love Knows No Age, he noticed her immediately. "Thank you for the support, Ma," he wrote. "Call me Darby," she replied with a playful wink emoji. From that day on, chats turned into long conversations. Conversations became video calls. Within months, laughter, secrets, and prayers were being shared across 2 continents. It didn't take long before they began calling each other my king and my queen. One Sunday morning, Darby sat on the porch with her mother, Caddy, sipping lemon tea. "Mom," she said softly, "I have something to tell you." Caddy adjusted her glasses. "Tell me." "I've met someone." Darby smiled, blushing like a teenager. Catherine raised her brow. "Oh? Who is this lucky man?" "He's from Nigeria. His name is Kelechi. He's 32. The silence between them cracked like thunder. Caddy blinked in surprise. "Nigeria?" Darby nodded. "We met on Facebook. We've been talking for 2 years now. He's smart, respectful, God-fearing, and most of all, he makes me feel young again." Caddy took a deep breath. Then, to Darby's relief, she smiled and held her daughter's hand. "My child, may God be with you both. There is no distance in the reign of love. Go get him. You have my blessings." Joy filled Darby's heart like a flood, but the road ahead wasn't all smooth. Her younger brother Tom was indifferent, as long as Darby was happy. But Johnson, the eldest, was skeptical. "You sure this isn't one of those Nigerian scams?" he asked one evening. Darby dismissed his doubts with grace. She knew Kelechi. She knew his soul. But the biggest resistance came from her longtime friends, Lolo and Adriana. At brunch one day, as Darby shared news about their upcoming wedding plans, Lolo shook her head. "Darby, please be wise, Nigerians. You know the stories," Adriana added sharply. "Girl, you're 65. He's probably using you to get papers or money." Darby's smile faded, but only for a moment. "No," she said confidently. "You two may be older and still single, but don't poison what God has blessed. This man loves me and I love him." Behind those criticisms, Darby could sense the bitterness. They weren't trying to protect her, they were trying to hold her back. So love continued to bloom. Despite the oceans between them, Darby and Kelechi planned to unite their worlds. And now, after 4 years of long-distance love, prayerful patience, and fighting off doubters, they were finally preparing for something extraordinary: marriage. What began as a Facebook message had now become a divine bond between 2 souls from different generations and different continents, united by faith, sincerity, and the courage to love. As days go by, within a period of 9 months, Darby and Kelechi Daniels agreed to get married. I thought it was a dream, but it was reality. Wedding bells were ringing louder in Darby's heart, and the air around her felt more romantic each day. The wedding was just a few months away, and Darby, radiant in her energy, was fully immersed in preparations. Her bedroom became a mini showroom of wedding accessories. Veils, lace gowns, embroidered kaftans for the traditional Nigerian engagement, gold bangles, high heels, perfumes, and even Kelechi's Agbada attire lay stacked neatly on hangers and boxes. Amazon carts stayed full. Packages arrived almost every other day. "Girl, are you getting married or opening a boutique?" Lolo scoffed one afternoon as she walked into Darby's room. Adriana folded her arms. "This man hasn't even stepped foot in America. You sure you ain't being catfished?" Darby rolled her eyes, unbothered, as she clutched a swatch of white satin. "Keep doubting. Y'all ain't even married at your age. If God gave me Kelechi, who are you to speak against it?" But every new item Darby bought seemed to irritate them more. They weren't just skeptical, they were jealous. Darby's joy had started threatening their own insecurities. Meanwhile, her mother, Caddy, stood firmly by her side. Despite her diabetic condition, Caddy's spirit was strong and sweet. She had formed a rare and genuine bond with Kelechi over the phone. Many evenings, while Darby cooked dinner or laughed on the porch, Caddy would speak with Kelechi privately. "Kelechi, I feel weak today," Caddy would sigh. And on the other side of the world, Kelechi's soothing voice would reply, "Mama Caddy, I'm praying for your healing. God will strengthen you. You're going to dance at our wedding." "Amen, my son," she'd smile, wiping away a tear. "You're a good man." It warmed Darby's heart to see them bond. Kelechi had won her mother's heart with kindness, prayers, and patience, even thousands of miles away. But peace wasn't the whole story. Zach, Darby's longtime boyfriend, was still in the picture. Sort of. They had never married, never even been exclusive. But now that Darby was in love, Zach suddenly showed interest. One evening, as Darby unpacked another wedding package, Zach stormed in from the porch. "So you're really going to marry this African kid? What's wrong with you, Darby?" She turned slowly. "What's wrong with me is I waited years for a man who never proposed. And now that I got a ring coming from someone who actually values me, you feel threatened." "You're being scammed," Zach shouted. "He wants your money, your passport, wake up." Darby laughed bitterly. "You've had all these years, Zach, and you never gave me anything but empty promises. When he comes, I'm dumping you." Their arguments grew frequent, hot and bitter. Zach couldn't handle the thought of losing her, but he never did anything to truly keep her either. And then there was Darby's other problem, her lifestyle. Summers in their Atlanta neighborhood were vibrant. Darby was known for throwing backyard barbecues where the grill smoked ribs, music played loud, and laughter echoed through the streets. She had lots of male friends, too many. Some were just buddies, some were friends with benefits. Hugs turned into long embraces. Drinks turned into overnight stays. And though she told herself it meant nothing, she hadn't yet let go of that wild, flirtatious side of her. "She's just friendly," Caddy would say, trying to defend her. But Darby was more than just friendly. She was unpredictable, sweet-hearted, generous, but she didn't like being told what to do. Her stubbornness was like concrete. You couldn't move her once she made up her mind. Even with Kelechi calling daily, even with wedding plans in full bloom, Darby was still stuck between her old world and the new life she was promising herself. Some nights, Kelechi would notice the mood shifts. "Are you okay, my queen?" "Yeah," she'd say, lying. But her heart was wrestling, between her habits and her hopes. Between her history and her future. She had found a man who truly loved her, but could she truly become the woman he believed she was? It was a chilly evening in Chicago, the wind brushing gently against the windows as Darby Washington zipped up her luggage. Her heart fluttered with excitement and anxiety. After 9 months of virtual love, video calls, late-night chats, and deep emotional bonding, she had finally booked her flight to Enugu State, Nigeria, the land of her beloved Kelechi Daniel. That night, her home was filled with mixed emotions. Lulu, her outspoken and sarcastic friend, came over with a bottle of wine and conflicting energy. "Girl, I still think this is wild," Lulu said, laughing nervously. "Flying all the way to Nigeria to marry a man you met online? But anyway, may your union bring you peace."
"You're one hell of a woman."
Her big brother Johnson, always the strong, silent type, hugged her tightly. "Take care of yourself, Darby. And be sure, okay? Be sure about him." Her kid brother Tom held onto her waist like a little boy clinging to his favorite sister. But it was her mother, Catherine, who broke down the most. As she laid hands on Darby's shoulder, she wept softly and prayed aloud. "Lord, lead my daughter safely. Let her decision bring her joy, not regret. Let this man, this Kelechi, love her deeply and purely." With a final look back, Johnson drove her to the airport, and Darby felt the weight of her past, her future, and her secrets tugging at her chest. Arrival in Nigeria. A cultural embrace, Nigeria welcomed her with colors, drums, and love. Kelechi Daniel, wearing a flowing white Isiagu attire, was at the airport waiting for her with roses and open arms. His family embraced her like royalty. Kelechi's mother danced with joy. His aunties called her Nunya Anye, our wife. Friends gathered in celebration, taking selfies, laughing, and asking about America life. After 1 week, the wedding takes place, and as planned, the wedding in Enugu was majestic. Traditional Igbo music, gold beads, laughter, wine, cultural blessings. Darby looked radiant in her traditional attire, her hair wrapped in coral beads and her smile, wide and free. For a moment, it felt like a fairy tale rewritten across continents. After a blissful month, she returned to America, a married woman, and exploring the Nigerian environment with an awesome satisfaction, and couldn't believe how good and beautiful the place looks. It is off to desk as a poor and devastating environment. It was a very good experience. She said she is going to miss Enugu State, the coal city of the eastern Nigeria. 2 years later, America again. 2 years passed and Kelechi Daniels' visa was finally approved. He stepped into America, looking at the skyscrapers and neon lights, holding tightly to the dream he built with Darby. But as he stepped into Darby's world, he noticed her world wasn't ready to change. The hidden conflict continued. Darby, though married, still entertained old flames. She never quite cut ties with certain male friends who had always held a place in her heart and her phone. Her mother, Catherine, continued to advise her gently. "My daughter, you're a wife now. Leave childish things behind. Kelechi is a good man and don't wound him." But Darby struggled, not because she didn't love Kelechi, but because she hadn't fully healed from her past. She enjoyed attention. She craved emotional excitement. She had spent years being wanted, and now being committed felt like prison and freedom at the same time. She couldn't easily let go of this old lifestyle that might put her marriage in jeopardy. It was 12 midnight, a quiet Tuesday. Kelechi had gone to bed early after a long day of job interviews and paperwork. Darby, in her silk robe, sat on the couch with a glass of wine, chatting with Jamie, one of her male besties. "Remember that time in the cabin?" she whispered on the phone, giggling. "That was unforgettable." Suddenly, Kelechi walked out of the bedroom, rubbing his eyes. Darby, startled, quickly said, "Jamie, let me call you back. My husband just walked in." Kelechi heard it all. He stood still, pretending he hadn't heard anything. "My queen," he asked calmly, "why are you not in bed with me?" I couldn't sleep," she replied, brushing it off. But inside Kelechi, something cracked. He followed her back to the bedroom, laid beside her and stared at the ceiling, haunted by thoughts. Was it true love? Is she really going to let go of her past? Was I warned for a reason? He remembered his father's warning. "Be a good husband, my son, but be careful. American women, sometimes they love the freedom more than the bond." Kelechi's heart was heavy, his dreams blurred. He had crossed oceans for love, but now he feared he might be drowning in secrets. Are you enjoying this love journey between Darby and Kelechi? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop your opinions and views in the comments below. If this story has caught your heart, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and follow us for more inspiring, dramatic, and interesting stories like this one. Your voice matters and your support keeps the stories alive. Thank you as you keep encouraging us as we continue on this love story. That night, Darby lay beside Kelechi, facing the wall. Her phone was face down on the nightstand, silent now, but it held echoes. Kelechi lay still, eyes open. The ceiling fan above spun slowly, but his mind spun faster. He replayed the words. "Remember that time in the cabin? Let me call you back, my husband is here." He didn't say a word. Not yet. But something in his spirit stirred, a mixture of hurt, confusion, and deep cultural conflict. Back in Nigeria, marriage is sacred. Back home, cheating is betrayal. Not just to a man, but to his family, his ancestors, his masculinity. Though a lot of women does that, but they do it mostly when there's no love. But my case is different. Why did she marry me? Kelechi kept asking himself. Kelechi remembered the warning from his uncle Obinna. America has no tradition, but they have laws, my son. You take your culture there, but be ready. Their freedom is not our freedom. But Kelechi loved Darby, and love sometimes blinds. The morning after, Darby walked into the kitchen in her robe, yawning. "Good morning, baby," she said, pouring coffee. Kelechi responded with a forced smile. "Did you sleep well?" "Yeah." "You?" "I stayed up a while thinking." There was silence. Then Kelechi asked, "Do you think we're really in the same marriage?" Darby blinked. "What do you mean?" He didn't push, just sipped his tea. But his Nigerian pride was wounded, his heart quietly bleeding. Later that afternoon, as Kelechi was fixing the blinds, Darby's phone buzzed. Kelechi glanced. The name Jamie lit up. "That was it. Who is Jamie to you?" Kelechi asked, staring directly. Darby froze. "Just a friend." My past, he's been there a long time. A long time, even longer than me. Even in our marriage? Kelechi, please, and don't turn this into a fight. Then help me understand. Because last night you weren't talking like friends. You were talking like lovers. Darby's defenses kicked in. Why are you judging me? I left everything for you. I traveled to Nigeria, I married you. You're here now. Kelechi's voice remained calm but firm. You brought your body to Nigeria, but your soul never left America. This is the point. Why do you have to travel all that way to Africa to marry her? Darby's emotional crisis alone in the bathroom later that night. Darby stared at herself in the mirror. Lipstick smeared, eyes tired. Glass of wine in hand. What's wrong with me? She whispered. She remembered Jamie's laughter, Zach's fire, and Kelechi's stillness. She wasn't used to honest, soft love. Kelechi was gentle, pure, spiritual, and sometimes she ran from what was too good for her. She called her mother. Mama, I think I'm ruining this. You are, my child, Catherine replied honestly. You say you want peace, but you flirt with chaos. You have a man who loves you. Don't throw him into fire because you miss the heat of fake love. You're no longer a young woman, you're 60. Darby, for Christ's sake, this young man gives me a lot of energy and joy. His prayers are always very helpful to my sick heart. And I truly think you have to rethink and throw this lifestyles away, Darby cried. For the first time, she felt truly ashamed. Darby is truly a soft-hearted woman, and she loves her friends and could do anything to keep them in her life. In most cases, some of her female best friends takes advantage of her kindness, but in her own incredible ways, she is a strong-willed woman. But this lifestyle developed long ago as a result of giving up of not going to be someone's wife, as she had prayed with no answers. As she said to herself, "What should I do now, God?" she asked to herself as she moves into the bathroom to reflect on her thoughts while looking through the mirror. Kelechi packs a bag one evening. Kelechi stood in the living room, suitcase halfway packed. Darby walked in and gasped. "Where are you going?" "To clear my head. I need to pray. Think, find my peace." "So you're leaving?" "No, I'm retreating. If I stay now, I'll either lose myself or say words I can't take back." Darby fell to her knees. "Please don't give up on me." Tears welled up in Kelechi's eyes. "Then stop giving yourself away to people who don't deserve you." This is not the end, but only the beginning. The love story of Darby Washington and Kelechi Daniel is just unfolding. Two souls from different worlds united by a powerful bond of love, commitment, and purpose. Their journey continues, rich with culture, challenges, romance, and real-life lessons that will inspire your heart. In the next episode, we dive deeper into what it truly means to build love across cultural lines. The struggles, the sweet moments, and the strength it takes to stand together. We want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your voice matters. Don't forget to like, follow, share with your friends. Hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications so you never miss a moment of this beautiful, unfolding love journey. New episode coming soon. Stay tuned. You don't want to miss what happens next. Chukwuma Minds Empowerment TV, where stories come alive with purpose and inspiration.